Hey, welcome back. I'm going to do another lab video. I'm going to be off camera for this one, just so there's not inertia for running. So the last video was a really good basic networking lesson. Networking, if you don't know what you're doing, it can all go wrong very fast, and we saw how this happened. Um, in the last video, I was trying to establish remote access through a console, and all of this configuration is really can be pretty tricky to get right. So this is why, like, this is a big part of like what's on the CCNA, right? Is like all of these uh, configurations to provide remote access. If you don't get these right, then you can potentially lock yourself out of the device. So that's exactly what I did, and we can see this is where I did it right here in this command. I shut down the management port on this device. Um, so now I can't access it anymore through OOB admin out of band. Not only did I do that, I changed something so that I can't uh, I have a login password um, that I don't remember. So I have the password. I lost the password to log in through console, and then I shut down the interface where I knew the password to enter in. So a really key critical networking lesson. This is basically one of the hard problems in networking that you will study in your CCNA. How do you not lock yourself out of the device? How do you properly manage connections to the device? So so yeah, that was. I've got to clean up my mess now. We'll start with this lab rescue video here by cleaning up that mess. So we got to open the lab. Okay, got to run it. Now what I might have to do is delete this device and recreate it. That's okay. I can do that. Not a big deal. Let's see if let's see if now that I'm more fresh, I can just try some credentials. And see if that gets in. I'll do a break. I'll be right back. All right, I am back. So just need to give this some time to come up. So I'll go on pause again. All right, welcome back. Let's see how things are going now. Okay, so I got a login prompt. So I'll try it. Incorrect. Incorrect. So yeah, we're gonna have to trash this device and make a new one. Um, yeah, that. Okay. All right, so I'll start by. I think I can just duplicate it. Yeah. So if I click duplicate here, um, hopefully it will do that. Nothing yet. The duplicate hasn't really worked for me in the past. Okay, so duplicate I don't think is working, so we'll just drop a new device. This is the data plane, and then the control plane. Okay, and then we'll wire these together. EM1 to ETH1. All right, and then Yeah, I can't get into these anyway, so I think now's a good time to delete these. It'd be nice to grab the show run off of this, but we'll have to grab the show run, make sure my audio is recording it is, from 02 and repurpose it there. So now's a good time to delete these two. Okay, and now we can rename them. Okay, so now we've got to cable them together. So we need connections to the core. There you go. Uh, Not sure if it should be ETH 0. Nope, it should be ETH 9. Okay, so that has connections to the core. This is. Oh, this only has one connection to the core. That's interesting. Should have two. Okay. Alright, so now we need connections to the core here. We got two connections already, so that's good. So now we need connections to the leaves. Oh, and actually we're going to connect on G01. Okay, so we'll connect from ETH04 to GI01 on each of the leads. Perfect, okay, and then finally we'll connect up to the OOB. ETH0. And there we go. So now we've replaced this out, so we should have login credentials now. Boot that up. Now this is going to take a little bit of time to come up, so I think I'll pause it and be back again. All right, I'm back. So let's take a look at where we're at. So we've got this back. So now, yep, now I can log in. So we'll do a configure a private, and we'll do the rollbacks now. That's how I got into this whole mess. You can do commit confirmed 3. Oops, I have to put it in right though. You have to type it in right. Commit confirmed 3, and then you have to use the right configuration mode though. It kind of depends on which device you're on. I think there are ones where you can do it in private mode, but for this one we have to use exclusive mode. There you go. So now I'll do this command delete chassis auto image upgrade. We'll do commit confirmed 3. I think 3 is the default. I'm not sure what it is. But there we go. So now if I don't confirm it again, it'll be rolled back in 5 minutes. So why would you use this? Well, let's say I was doing exactly what I did in this video last time. Now the moment I shut this interface down is the moment I no longer have access to the device. So I can't put in this second um, commit statement um, to make it persist. So it'll roll back, and then now I just locked myself out for 3 minutes rather than, having to end the video and come back to it in days when I have the energy to do it again. So you can keep going with your workflow. You can prevent a truck roll. You can prevent a substantial outage lasting, hours or even days. So it's my favorite command on Juniper devices is commit confirmed. All right, so let's take a look um, at the current config on there. So it's pretty stripped down. So it looks like we do have a interface configure on there already, though. But we'll take a look at this side by side, the other one, and then add some configuration to this. Oh, there's an issue on that. It's okay. I'll just access it remotely. Not sure what the issue is. We'll think about it more once I've got a terminal up and I'm actually in there. Okay, so now we're on O2. Probably won't be able to go into O1 until the configuration's on there, but we can at least look at what's on O2 here and then make the configuration changes on O1. Okay, so we got quite a bit on O2. I'm not sure why I'm being locked out of. Oh, it's because of this. We should change the root authentication password to something that I can remember. Yeah, I'm gonna do that right now. So we're gonna do configure exclusive. Then we'll do delete. Oh, you know what it is? I bet you I know what it is. Nope, that's not what it is. Okay, so yeah, we'll set it to something I can actually remember here. It's just the lab. In production, you would have some sort of uh, system of storing passwords, not unlike LastPass or Google passwords, but like a more one that's more suitable for like enterprise security. So we can ask. Let's ask the AI quick about that because it'll. Hey, I'm making a YouTube video. I'm making a YouTube video. To give you a sense of the video I'm making. I'm gonna put in transcripts from the other videos. Let me know when you're ready to receive them. I'll send them to you one by one.
Hey. That sounds great, I'm ready whenever you are. Clapperboard, go ahead and send me the transcripts one by one, and I'll review them to get a sense of the video you're making. Just paste them in whenever you're ready.
All right, welcome back. So all right, welcome back.
Got it. I've read through the transcript for Lab Rescue 1. Here's my summary of what this video covers. Lab Rescue 1 summary main goal. Get a home lab network up to CCIE level production standards with hundreds of lines of config per device. instead of the approximately 20 lines currently on them. Key activities. Hardware upgrades, swapped mechanical drive for... Got it. Here's my summary of Lab Rescue 2. Lab Rescue 2 summary main goal. Continue rescuing lab devices from the previous video, verifying SSH access survives reboots. Key activities. Verification after reboot. Checked if devices retained their SSH configurations after reboot. Several devices lost their configs. Missed. Here's my summary of Lab Rescue 3. Lab Rescue 3 summary main goal.
So that's all we got so far. I'm making video number 4 right now.
Got it. So you're currently recording Lab Rescue 4. Quick recap of where things stand going into this session. Layer status core, Core 01, Core 02, checkmark good data center distribution, DS01, DS02, checkmark good data center leaf, LS0104, checkmark good floor access, AS01 AS04, checkmark good floor distribution, Disto01, Disto02, crossmark broken, one Juniper device locked out, needs rebuild main task for video 4. Rebuild the Juniper distribution switch you locked yourself out of, then get the floor distribution layer working. Good luck with the recording. Let me know if you need anything while you're working on it, or send me the transcript when you're done. Clapperboard.
Yeah, so we're rebuilding that. So right now I'm in the middle of rebuilding that Juniper distribution switch in the data center simulation. Yeah, that's what I'm working on. Let me give you another. Let me see if I can give you another dump here. Hold on.
Sounds good, take your time. Send over what.
Well, I was hoping to give you a dump of the lab topology, but I'm not sure how to do that. It's fine. We don't need it.
No worries, you've already described the topology pretty well across the videos. Core, Core 01, Core 02 data center, DS01, DS02, distribution, LS0104, leaf, floor 1, Disto01, Disto02, distribution, the problem area, AS01 AS04, access, OBadmin. Your jump box with DHCP, DNS server out of band management network, daisy chained hubs connecting everything. That's enough context for me to follow along. Just keep recording and send me the video 4 transcript when you're done, I'll summarize it like the others. Good luck with the Juniper rebuild. Wrench.
Alright, there we go. Got that one in. That was a tricky one. So on to the next.
Nice. So you got the Juniper distribution switch rebuilt, that's the one you locked yourself out of in video 3. What's next on the list? Disto 02, or are both distribution switches back now? Send me the video 4 transcript whenever you wrap up and I'll add it to the series summary. Clapperboard.
Alright, I was accidentally configuring the wrong device, but I should be good now.
Huh, classic lab moment, easy to do when you've got a dozen terminals open. Glad you caught it before doing any real damage this time. Keep at it and send over the video 4 transcript when you're done. I'll be here, hammer and wrench.
Oh, hold on a second.
I'm here, what's up?
If you do a commit confirmed on a Juniper, how do you cancel it?
To confirm the commit, so it doesn't roll back, or running it again without a timeout confirms it, to cancel and roll back immediately before the timer expires. Or just, did you accidentally start a commit confirm timer and need to stop it, or are you trying to let it roll back on purpose?
I want to cancel and roll back it immediately before the timer expires.
That'll immediately roll back to the last committed config and cancel the pending timer.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I just forgot about commit. Okay, got it.
All good. Yeah, commit confirm is a lifesaver, exactly what would have saved you in video 3 when you shut down your own management interface. Cold sweat smile smart that you're using it now. Keep going.
Okay. Yeah, so are you familiar with the command on Juniper's edit interfaces XFP0 unit 0 family inet DHCP vendor dash ID?
Yeah, that's for setting the DHCP vendor class identifier, option 60, on Juniper. The syntax is so something like this tells the DHCP server what type of device is requesting an address, useful for assigning different options pools based on device type, zero touch provisioning, ZTP, workflows, your automation setup where you want devices to self-identify as your DHCP server configured to do something with that vendor ID, or are you trying to use option 12, hostname, for DNS registration instead?
I'm trying to use option 12 for DNS registration.
For option 12, hostname, on Juniper, you want, or more directly for the hostname, the Juniper should automatically send its configured hostname as option 12 in DHCP requests. So if you've got, it should include that in the DHCP discover request, and your DNS mask server on OBadmin should pick it up and register it. If it's still not working, check that your DNS mask conference has, or that it's set to read host names from DHCP requests automatically. Is the host name showing up in your Wireshark captures, option 12, but just not registering in DNS?
Let's see. I'll take a Wireshark capture.
Good call. Filter for DHCP traffic and look for option 12 in the discover request packets. Quick Wireshark filter, or just boot and then expand the DHCP options in a discover packet to see if option 12 is present with the right host name. Let me know what you see. Shark.
Yeah, it's there, and it has the right host name.
Good, so the Juniper is sending option 12 correctly. Problem is likely on the DNS mask side then. Check. Is DNS mask configured to register DHCP host names in DNS? You want something like, check the leases file, is the host name showing up there? Is DNS mask acting as the DNS server? Try. If the lease is there with the host name but DNS isn't resolving it, DNS mask might not be configured to serve DNS from DHCP leases. What do you see?
Let me check. So I've got a dedicated. I'm thinking about because I have a dedicated out-of-band management network that I'm simulating. I'm thinking about just getting rid of that. I don't. It makes my life a little easier though.
Yeah, I get the appeal of the dedicated OOB network for realism and automation practice, but it's added a lot of troubleshooting overhead across these videos. Pros of keeping it realistic enterprise setup good for ZTP, automation practice separates management from production traffic cons. Extra DHCP, DNS complexity daisy chained hubs causing weird issues, more things to break, like you've seen. If you ditch it, you could just use static IPs on management interfaces, put entries in, etc. Hosts on OBadmin focus on the actual networking stuff instead of fighting Nice. The leases are there and host names are registered. I see a lot more devices than before, looks like you've expanded the lab. But I notice FLOOR01DISTO01 and FLOOR01DISTO02 are missing from the leases. Those are the Juniper distribution switches you've been fighting with. So the Juniper is sending option 12 in Wireshark, but it's not getting a lease. That means, DHCP Discover is going out, you see it in Wireshark, DHCP offer is not coming back, or Juniper isn't accepting it. You're right, data DS01 is also missing from the leases. You have data DS02 checkmark data DS01 crossmark, so that's another one that's not getting DHCP. Is data DS01 also a Juniper, or is it a Cisco like the others? Looking at the pattern, all the Ciscos seem to be getting leases fine. The Junipers, FLOOR01DISTO01, FLOOR01DI. Got it, data DS01 is a Juniper. So same issue as the floor distribution switches. Let's troubleshoot. On the Juniper, data DS01, what do you see? On DNS mask server, watch the logs while you bounce the Juniper's DHCP. I see the issue. You're using vendor ID but not sending the host name via DHCP. The Juniper has host name data DS01 set at the system level, but that doesn't automatically get sent as DHCP option 12. Try adding. So the full DHCP config would be, or keep both if you want, then, good habit after video 3. Cold sweat smile, check if it gets a lease after that. The system host name is just for the CLI prompt and local identification, it doesn't automatically go into DHCP requests. No host name option directly on Juniper DHCP client. Let's try using the options path, or check what's available under options. If that doesn't work, Juniper might automatically send the system host name as option 12. Let's verify what's actually being sent. In Wireshark, when you see the DHCP discover from data DS01, expand the DHCP options, is option 12 actually present with data DS01? Or is it empty, missing? If the host name is being sent but DNS mask still isn't giving a lease, the problem is elsewhere. There it is, no host name. So Juniper automatically sends the system host name as option 12 by default. Make sure you don't have no host name set. If it's clean, then the host name should be going out automatically from set system host name data DS01. So if Wireshark shows option 12 with data DS01 in the discover packet, the Juniper side is fine. The problem is likely DNS mask not responding. Check journal CTLU DNS mask F while bouncing the interface network path. Is the discover actually reaching the DNS mask server? Offer not getting back, discover goes out, but offer doesn't return. What do you see in the DNS mask? No system D on that box. Try, or check if DNS mask has its own log, then bounce the Juniper interface and see if anything shows up. Good, log DHCP is enabled. Check where it's logging to, and try, or to see what log files exist. The DHCP logs have to be going somewhere. Also, since it's a minimal system, you could just restart DNS mask in the foreground with debug. Then bounce the Juniper interface and watch the output directly. Now bounce the Juniper interface and watch for DHCP traffic on the Juniper, or watch the DNS mask output. You should see DHCP DISCOVER, DHCP offer, etc. if the packets are reaching it. If nothing shows up, the discover isn't making it to DNS mask, network path issue. DHCP-DECLINE, that's the problem. The client is getting an offer, accepting it, DHCP-ACK, then declining the IP because it detects a duplicate address on the network.
Ouch.
It keeps cycling through IPs, .150, .151, .152, .153, .154, .155, and declining each one. This means something else on the network already has those IPs, or the client is doing a gratuitous ARP and getting a response. Also interesting, the logs show FLOOR01DIST01 with vendor class Cisco PNP, but you bounced data DS01 which is a Juniper. So either you're looking at the wrong device's traffic floor. 01 dist 01 is a Cisco that's also having issues for the DHCP-DECLINE issue. Try on the DNS mask server and check if those IPs, .150 to .155 range, are showing up with MAC addresses. Something is responding to ARPs for those addresses. Also, is there any chance you have duplicate devices or a loop in the OOB network? Got it, so FLOOR01DIST01, Cisco, is the one spamming DHCP-DECLINE. The Cisco is doing duplicate address detection, DAD, it ARPs for the offered IP, gets a response, and declines it. This repeats for every IP DNS mask offers. Something is answering ARPs for those IPs. Likely causes, proxy ARP enabled somewhere on the network, a router responding to ARPs for the whole subnet, duplicate IPs already assigned, loop in the OOB network causing broadcast storms. Quick checks on the Cisco FLOOR01DIST01 on DNS mask server, and check if any device has proxy ARP enabled on the OOB management VLAN. What do you see? Found it, GI06 has a static IP 10.0.0.10 and it's down, but that's in the same subnet as your DHCP range, 10.0.0.0/16. But more importantly, GI015 is the DHCP interface and it's up but has no IP assigned. The DHCP-DECLINE is happening because the Cisco is detecting a conflict. Let's check if there's something weird with GI06, also check, and then bounce GI015. My suspicion, GI06 with 10.0.0.10 might be causing proxy ARP issues, or there's some routing weirdness. That static IP is in the same 16 as your DHCP pool, which could confuse things. What does show runint GI06 and show runint GI015 show? Wait, now it's not even getting offers. Earlier DNS mask was sending DHCP offer and the Cisco was declining. Now the Cisco is just sending DHCP DISCOVER and getting nothing back. But I spotted something important. GI06 has a static IP 10.0.0.10/16 that's in the same subnet as your OOB management network. This interface is down but the IP is configured. This could be causing the Cisco to think it already has a route to the 10.0.0.0/16 network, messing with DHCP. Try removing that static IP, then bounce GI015 again and watch the debug output. Also, is GI06 supposed to be your management interface instead of GI015? It looks like maybe you have two interfaces configured for the same network. Okay, so now the discovers are going out but no offers are coming back. Earlier DNS mask was responding, now it's not. Did you stop DNS mask when you Control+C it out of the foreground mode? Check if it's running, if not, start it back up, or run it in foreground again to watch. Then bounce GI015 on the Cisco and see if the discovers show up in DNS mask. The Cisco is sending discovers but getting nothing back. Is DNS mask still running? On the DHCP server, if it's not running, you Control+C it earlier, start it, then watch what's happening. Bounce GI015 on the Cisco again and see if the discovers are even reaching the server. No TCP dump, minimal box. That's fine, DNS mask is running now. Bounce the Cisco interface again, and watch DNS mask in foreground on the server, in another session or stop, restart, or just check the leases after bouncing. Let's see if the discovers are reaching DNS mask now that it's running again. It worked. DHCPREQUEST right pointing arrow DHCPACK for FLOOR01 DIST01 at 10.0.122.150. No DHCPDECLINE this time. The lease was granted. Check on the Cisco, or you should see 10.0.122.150 assigned now. The fix was removing that static 10.0.0.10/16 from GI06. It was likely causing the duplicate address detection to fail before. FLOOR01 DIST01 is working, state, bound with 10.0.122.150. Now back to your original device, Data DS01, the Juniper. Bounce its FXP0 interface and watch DNS mask, on the Juniper. Watch the DNS mask output. Does Data DS01 show up now?
No, it's not. It's not showing up.
So the Juniper's DHCP discovers aren't reaching DNS mask at all. Network path issue. Check on the Juniper. And, is FXP0 up? Up? Is it plugged into the same OOB network switch as the Cisco and DNS mask server? Also check the MAC address. We need to verify the Juniper is actually on the same L2 segment as DNS mask.
Oh, you called it. The management port wasn't plugged in.
Huh, there it is. Plug in the management port on the Juniper, then bounce FXP0, watch DNS mask, data DS01 should show up now. Data DS01 got its lease. DHCP DISCOVER right pointing arrow DHCPOFFER right pointing arrow DHCPREQUEST right pointing arrow DHCPACK. No decline this time. IP 10.0.204.106 hostname. Data DS01 state. Bound verify on the Juniper and check DNS registration or on the DNS mask server to see if data DS01 is in there now. The problem was simply the management cable wasn't plugged in. Classic Layer 1. Party popper you're in. SSH to data DS01 via hostname works. DNS plus DHCP all working now. Quick recap of what was wrong. Data DS01, Juniper, management cable wasn't plugged in. Layer 1, FLOOR01 DIST01, Cisco, had a conflicting static IP, 10.0.0.10/16, on GI06 in the same subnet, causing DHCP-DECLINE loops both fixed now. Don't forget to Control+C the DNS mask foreground process and start it properly. Save the Cisco config if you haven't. Hostname mismatch. The Cisco registered as FLOOR01DIST01, with the 01 after floor, not floor DIST01. Try, or check what's actually registered, on the DNS mask server to see the exact host names. Both devices working now via DNS hostnames. Checkmark SSHG POSH at data DS01 Juniper checkmark SSHG POSH at FLOOR01 DIST01 Cisco OOB management network is fully operational. Nice work troubleshooting, Layer 1, unplugged cable, and Layer 3, conflicting static IP, issues resolved. Don't forget to properly start DNS mask as a service and save configs, on DNS mask server, on the Cisco, if not already saved. Another device not registering. Same troubleshooting. Is Fluoro 1 Dist 02's management port plugged in and getting DHCP? Check DNSMask leases to see what's registered, and watch DNSMask for new requests while you check, bounce the management interface on FLOOR01DIST02. Is it a Cisco or Juniper? Console into it and check if the management interface is up and configured for DHCP. Found it. The first one, hostname, router, is FLOOR01DIST02. It's completely unconfigured. Hostname is still, router. All interfaces are shut down. No DHCP configured, no SSH configured. You need to configure it like FLOOR01DIST01. On the router, then watch DNSMask. It should pick up FLOOR01DIST02 once GI015 comes up with DHCP. Good, interface is up. But you need to generate RSA keys for SSH to work. Then check if DHCP got an address, and watch DNSMask on the server. Did FLOOR01DIST02 show up? FLOOR01DIST02 is working. SSH via hostname resolved and connected. You now have 3 devices on OOB management. Checkmark data DS01, Juniper, 10.0.204.106 checkmark FLOOR01DIST01, Cisco, 10.0.122.150 checkmark FLOOR01DIST02, Cisco, 10.0.57.1931 thing to fix. I noticed the user got created with no password. That's because you typed less than password greater than literally. You should set a real password. Same issue on FLOOR01DIST01. It has no enable password set, %no password set. You may want to fix that too, otherwise your OOB network is operational. Good, I see the difference. FLOOR01DIST01 uses SSH public key auth. No password needed. FLOOR01DIST02 has username gposh privilege 15 no password but no SSH key configured. To fix FLOOR01DIST02, either add the same SSH pub key, or if you want to keep it consistent with DIST01, that's the way to go. The pubkey method is more secure anyway. Also on FLOOR01DIST01, GI06 is still no shutdown without an IP. You may want to shut it down if it's not in use.
All right, we got it fixed. So we probably still have some more devices to go, but Mr. Eagle Eye, thank you so much for your help. Yeah, that routing table being screwed up by having that extra IP assigned, even though the port was down, that was crazy. I don't know if I could have figured that out on my own.
Huh, yeah, that was a sneaky one. Interface down but still injecting a root into the table. Classic, it shouldn't matter but it does situation. The DHCP-DECLINE loop was the clue. The Cisco kept saying, nope, can't use that IP, and DNSMask kept offering new ones. Once we saw the routing table had that 10.0.0.0/16 from GI06, it clicked. Good luck with the rest of your devices. Same pattern for each one. Console inset host name configure management interface for DHCP with IP DHCP client host name less than name greater than Cisco or DHCP on FXP0 Juniper. Make sure the cable is plugged in. Layer 1 strikes again. Add SSH key or credentials. Watch DNSMask. Verify lease. Test SSH by host name. You've got the workflow down now. Holler if you hit another weird one. Eagle. Here's a paste-ready config block for Cisco IOS devices. Just change the host name. Just replace both CHANGEME with the actual host name, e.g., int disto3.
All right, so the lab is officially recovered. The only devices left are these Fortinet firewall devices. So I guess I'll just make sure I've got those finished before moving on.
Nice work. For the Fortinet devices, the OOB management setup is different syntax. Here's the quick version. If the management interface isn't called management, check with, and verify DHCP lease with. Let me know if you hit any snags with the FortiGates.
Do I have to use a web management interface for these?
No, you can do it all via CLI. FortiGate supports SSH and console access. If you're on console now, just paste those commands. The CLI is similar to Cisco in structure but uses config, edit, set, next, end instead of conference T, interface, exit. To check current config, to see all interfaces, once DHCP is working and SSH is enabled, set allow access ping HTTPS SSH, you can SSH in by hostname just like the others. What does the console show right now? Is it prompting for login or already at a shell? Port 10 already has DHCP and an IP 10.0.109.255. Just need to set hostname and enable SSH access, then verify DNS mask picks it up. You may need to bounce the interface to re-register the hostname. Check what hostname it's sending. This looks like a stripped down or VDOM enabled FortiGate. Try. Then check if you're in a VDOM. Look for the firmware version in VDOM mode. Then try. If that doesn't work, just to see if basic system config is accessible. The command structure might be slightly different on this version. Old FortiOS 5.2 different syntax. VDOM is disabled so no config global needed. Try. Wait, that failed before. Let me check. On 5.2 it might just be, or for hostname specifically. If that doesn't work, try, directly at the root prompt. Or show what's available. Very limited config options. This is a restricted, expired evaluation license. Only 4 options available. Let's at least enable SSH on port 10. For the hostname, check settings. See if hostname is in there. If not, this expired eval license may have locked out global settings. The device might still work for SSH access even without a custom hostname, it'll just register as whatever DNS mask sees. Check DNS mask output, did it register with any name when it got 10.0.109.255? No hostname option there either, it's locked out due to the expired eval license. That's okay, SSH is enabled now. Check if you can reach it, and from OOB admin, try SSH by IP. Default FortiGate user is admin with no password, or whatever was set. For DNS registration, check DNS mask leases on the server, see if it registered with any hostname. If not, you can add a static entry in, etc., hosts on the DNS mask server, then restart DNS mask and you can SSH by name.
Oh, you want me to make a static entry? I guess I'd rather not do that. If we don't have to, can we just use a? Is there a better image that we can use? Because we can use anything. I don't have to use a Fortinet. So could we use like a Palo Alto? Like I'd rather use a Palo Alto. Palo Altos are in high demand for skills. So if we use a PALOALTO, that would be better.
Yeah, Palo Alto is a great choice, much more in demand skill and the VM image doesn't have the licensing lockout issues for lab use. For Palo Alto VM, PAVM, the OOB management setup is, management interface is typically management and separate from data plane interfaces. Default creds are usually admin, forces password change on first login. Do you have a PAVM image available in GNS3? If so, swap it in and we'll get it configured. The CLI is straightforward once you're in.
Well, I see one here for a 30-day free trial. But hold on a second.
Old Fortios using legacy SSH key exchange. You can force it from OOB admin, but yeah, if you want to swap to Palo Alto, that's a better long-term choice. This FortiGate 5.2 is ancient, 2016, and the expired license is crippling it. Up to you, quick workaround above to get SSH working now, or swap the image for PAVM. What do you want to do?
Let me give you the let me give you the options that we have, and then you can help me pick. So just give me a moment. I'll give you all the options we have.
Sounds good, take your time. Just paste or list out what firewall images you have available in GNS3 and I'll help you pick the best one for the lab. Looking for something that supports DHCP client on management interface, allows hostname configuration, has SSH access with great options. My top picks for your OOB lab. 1. PAVM, Palo Alto, star best choice, high demand skill, clean CLI, DHCP on management interface works, no license needed for basic config, SSH2. Cisco ASAV, solid alternative. You already know Cisco syntax. DHCP client supported. Familiar workflow. 3. Cisco FTDV, modern but complex next-gen Cisco firewall requires FMC for full management, more overhead, skip unless you want to learn FMC. 4. VSRX, Juniper, good option. You already have Juniper in the lab. Data DS01, similar syntax to what you've done. DHCP works fine. 5. OpenSense, pfSense, easy but less enterprise. Great for home labs, not as resume worthy as ASA. My recommendation. PAVM, it's the most marketable skill, clean CLI, and will work for your OOB setup. Want me to give you the quick config once you spin it up?
We have to have something that we can use free and kosher. We can't deal with licenses. So I like PF Sense. That makes sense. But we need something that I can just use without worrying about like violating this or that.
pfSense or OpenSense, both are perfect for this. Checkmark fully open source, free checkmark no license restrictions checkmark DHCP client on WAN, management checkmark SSH access checkmark hostname configuration checkmark actually used in production environments. OpenSense is a fork of pfSense with a cleaner UI and more frequent updates. Either works. Both are free BSD based, so CLI is different from Cisco, Juniper, more like standard Unix commands. Quick OOB setup once it boots. Assign the OOB interface, usually M0 or VTnet 0. Set it to DHCP, enable SSH, set hostname. Most of this can be done from the console menu on first boot. It walks you through interface assignment and IP config. Which one do you want to spin up, pfSense or OpenSense?
I'm gonna spin up OpenSense. I already use pfSense, so to have a sense of another one would be good.
Perfect choice. OpenSense it is. When it boots, you'll get a console menu. Quick setup. Login. Root, OpenSense. Default. Assign interface. Option 1. Pick the one connected to OOB switch. Set interface IP. Option 2. Select the OOB interface. Choose DHCP. Enable SSH. This might need the web UI or set hostname. Edit /conf/config.xml or use web UI actually. Easiest path. Get DHCP IP from console. Hit the web UI from OOB admin. https:// if greater than set hostname plus enable SSH in GUI, then you can SSH in. Let me know what you see when it boots up.
All right, welcome back. So we made a ton of progress. We actually got every single device in the lab recovered except for the firewalls, and that's because to play around with firewalls, you to play around with the big vendor stuff. You typically need a you do need a license, and you can get busted. The last thing you would want is to have all your certifications revoked because you would get. And I'm not gonna, I'm not. The last thing I'm gonna do is like wink and nod and say do it anyway because like it's a real risk and you don't want to lose your certs for that way, especially you put a lot of time and money into it. It's just a matter of someone not liking what you're doing, clicking a button, and you're shut down, right? So you absolutely don't want to do that. So you really need to do um, I don't give away images. I don't tell people how to get images. We're gonna go ahead and use OpenSense rather than Fortinet or Palo Alto. So this is the whole point. Sorry, a second. This is the whole point of like source software versus proprietary closed source, right? If it's proprietary closed source, you can't
No
just.
need to apologize, you're 100% right. Using vendor images without proper licensing is a real risk. Certification, revocation, legal issues, career damage, not worth it when there are legitimate alternatives. OpenSense is a great choice. Fully open source, BSD license, used in real production environments, stateful firewall, VPN, IDS, IPS. Traffic shaping looks good on a resume. Shows you understand firewall concepts, no licensing headaches, the core firewall skills transfer anyway. Zones and interfaces, NAT rules, access policies, VPN configuration, logging and monitoring. Once you've got OpenSense configured, you understand firewalls. The vendor-specific stuff is just syntax differences. Let me know when you've got it booted and we'll get it on the OOB network.
Yeah, exactly. This is the whole point of open source versus proprietary. If you're using a proprietary thing, you have to use it properly. But this is why open source exists, right? It's kind of like now you can um, educate yourself, maybe even use it in production, depending on what you're doing. It might not have enough features, or the features might not be reliable enough. But uh, but yeah, we're gonna use OpenSense for the firewalls instead of the Fortinets.
Exactly. Open source exists precisely for this: education, experimentation, and yes, even production when it fits. And honestly, OpenSense, pfSense are running in plenty of real production environments. SMBs, branch offices, home labs that grew up, even some enterprises for specific use cases. The skills you learn are transferable. Firewall rules and zones, NAT, SNAT, DNAT, one-to-one, VPN, IPsec, OpenVPN, WireGuard, failover concepts, IDS, IPS, Suricata, traffic shaping, COS, VLAN, trunking, logging and monitoring. When you interview and they ask, do you know Palo Alto? You can say, I understand firewall concepts deeply, I've built and managed OpenSense in my lab. The vendor-specific syntax is just documentation. That's the right answer anyway. They want someone who understands, not someone who memorized one vendor's CLI. Ready when you've got OpenSense booted.
What is SNAT and DNAT?
Great question. These are the two directions of NAT. SNAT, source NAT, changes the source IP of outgoing packets used when internal hosts go out to the internet. Your home router does this. All your devices share one public IP, also called masquerade or PAT, port address translation. Example: DNAT, destination NAT, changes the destination IP of incoming packets used for port forwarding. Publishing services lets outside traffic reach internal servers. Example: quick memory trick, SNAT equals sending out, source, outbound, DNAT equals delivering in, destination, inbound. Both happen at the firewall and are usually configured together. SNAT for users going out, DNAT for services coming in.
Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. That makes sense.
Cool, it's one of those things that clicks once you see it. You'll configure both in OpenSense, outbound NAT, SNAT, usually automatic, default port forward, DNAT, when you want to expose a service. Alright, let's get that OpenSense box on the OOB network. What do you see on the console?
And what was 1:1? Was that when you translate both the source and the destination, or was that something else?
You might be thinking of one-to-one NAT, one-to-one NAT, maps one public IP to one private IP completely all ports, both directions no port translation involved. Example, everything hitting that public IP goes straight to that internal host, and everything from that host goes out as that public IP. Or you might be thinking of double NAT, when traffic passes through two NAT devices, usually a problem, like ISP router plus your router, breaks some applications, gaming, VPNs or NAT hairpin, NAT reflection. When internal hosts access an internal server via the public IP, traffic goes out and comes back in. Firewall has to rewrite both source and destination. Any of those ring a bell?
No, it's fine. It's fine.
All good, let's get OpenSense set up. What's on the console right now? It's configuring interfaces now. You assigned WAN right pointing arrow VTNet 1. This should be your OOB management, LAN right pointing arrow VTNet 0. Wait for it to finish, then you'll get a menu. We need to check which interface is actually connected to OOB. Switch set that interface to DHCP. Set host name. Enable SSH. Once you see the main menu, look for option to set interface IPs. We want the OOB connected interface to use DHCP. What does the menu show when it finishes booting? Good, it's up, but WAN, VTNet 1, didn't get an IP, that's the one connected to OOB. Log in first. Username, root password, OpenSense, then you'll get a menu. We need to Option 2 set interface IP address. Select WAN, VTNet 1, configure it for DHCP. That should get it an IP from your DNS mask server. Go ahead and log in, let me know what menu you see. Good progress. It's configuring WAN for DHCP now. Wait for it to finish, it should get an IP from your DNS mask server. Once it completes, you should see something like, let me know what IP it gets, then we'll set the host name. Enable SSH.
Well, I don't have it cabled up to anything yet.
That's why WAN shows no IP. In GNS3, connect the OpenSense VTnet 1 WAN interface to your OOB switch. Once it's cabled, either wait for DHCP to retry or from the menu, select option 2 again and reconfigure WAN for DHCP to force it to request an IP, then we'll see it pull an address from DNS mask. Go ahead and cable it up.
All right, I think I've got it more or less better now.
Great, check if it got an IP now. From the OpenSense console menu, you should see the status at the top showing, or hit option 2 and reconfigure WAN for DHCP to force a new request. What does it show?
Well, I don't think we have to worry about this right now. This is kind of uh, this is kind of difficult here.
No worries, OpenSense is set up and ready. You can come back to it later when you want to work on the firewall piece. The important thing is, its installed interfaces are assigned, WAN is set to DHCP, just needs to be cabled to OOB switch. You've got all the other devices in the lab working on OOB management, that's the big win. The firewall is optional for now. What do you want to tackle next, or are we good for today?
There's a few devices that still need rescuing.
Let's knock them out. Which devices still need OOB management configured?
Okay, we're good. We're good. Yeah, I'm happy with everything we rescued. We can worry about the firewall component later. I think I'm just going to do one final check to make sure all the devices that I care about being rescued are rescued, and then I'll end this video. It's about 2 hours, but I've got more than I'd like to do after that. So I'll see about ending the video or not. I do want to do other things. I want to go hit the gym because that's going to make a difference, right? Sarcasm.
Huh, yeah, gym gains are important too. Do your final check, make sure everything SSHs from OOB admin, for all the devices you care about. Quick wins to verify. Switches, routers, BIOS devices, Juniper, anything else critical. Once you confirm they're all reachable, you're in good shape. The firewall can wait, it's just cabling and DHCP away when you're ready. Good session, you recovered a whole lab's worth of OOB management.
Yeah, good session indeed.
Awesome work, you. Set up DNS mask DHCP plus DNS on OOB admin, configured hostname registration, recovered a ton of devices, Cisco, Juniper, etc., learned about SNAT, DNAT, got OpenSense ready for when you need its solid foundation for the lab. Go hit the gym, biceps.
Oops, we got one device that is not doing so well.
What device? What's it showing?
So device data LS03, it's showing connection refused.
Connection refused on data LS03. That usually means SSH service isn't running, SSH isn't enabled on the management interface, wrong IP, hostname. Can you console into data LS03 directly in GNS3? What type of device is it? Cisco, Juniper, something else?
Yeah, I'm counseling into it. It's a Cisco. Why don't I give you the full show run from it, and then the show run from another one that is working better. And then let's see. Oh, I think I see it. I found the issue.
What was it?
On the lines, line VTY 5 through 15. Now VT line 0 through 4 is fine, but it says login and not login local. So I'm going to do no login, and then I'm going to do login local, and copy run start, and hopefully that's does it.
That's it. Login alone expects a line password, the old way, while login local uses the local user database, your GPOS account. Good catch, should work now. Test it from OOB admin.
Well, that wasn't it. So I'll give you a 03, which is bad, and then we'll compare it against one that's good.
Sounds good. Paste the show run from data LS03, the broken one, and then the working one. We'll diff them and find the issue. I see the problem. The user has no password set, but SSH requires authentication. It won't let you SSH in with no password. Fix it. Or if you want to keep using SSH keys only, you need. But the easiest fix is just give the user a password. Interesting, data LS04 also has no password, but it works. The difference I see, data LS03, broken, has VRF definition, MGMT interface is VRF forwarding, MGMTHA zip domain name tech yes. Local data LS04, working, no VRF interface is just IP address DHCPNO domain name. The SSH pubkey chain might not be working properly with the VRF on data LS03. Try this on data LS03, or just remove the VRF from the management.
Oh, I see. The crypto key didn't get generated.
That's it, no RSA key equals no SSH. On data ls03, then test from OOB admin.
All right, that was the issue. Good thing we resolved that.
Nice catch. Easy fix once you spotted it. So data ls03 is good now. Any other devices still need rescuing, or are we all green?
We are all green. Just those firewalls are the only thing that's left. But so you can take care of those at any time later. We don't need to worry about that.
Perfect. All devices recovered except the firewalls, which are ready to go whenever you want to cable them up. Great session. You've got a fully functional OOB management network now. Checkmark DNS mask DHCP plus DNS checkmark automatic hostname registration checkmark SSH key auth across all devices checkmark everything reachable from OOB admin. Go hit the gym. Biceps.
All right, final step. I'm working with Codex here, and I'm seeing if it can SSH into each of these devices. And if it can, then I'm gonna tell it to act as a CCIE and fill out this appropriately. Yeah, so act as a yeah. Well, give me a prompt for what it should do, acting as a CCIE. I've got it in the admin automation server. So, and then I've got a folder in it that is connected to GitHub. So I want it to push it up to my GitHub to fill it out appropriately and push it up to my GitHub.
Nice. Here's a prompt for Codex, or if you want a single inventory file, what's the folder path on your admin server? Perfect. Here's a prompt for Codex. Want me to refine this further, or does that cover what you need?
I think that covers what I need. I'm just waiting for it to do the verifications, and then I'll send that next. It looks like it's taking quite a bit longer to do the. Oh, I see. Okay, so it's doing the verifications now, and it looks like it completed. So it verified. Oh, so there's one. There are some that had timeouts, unfortunately. Not sure. Not sure. Yeah. Oh shit. There's another one that had. Oh, I think I must have hit a typo. Yeah, I hit a typo. I hit a typo. Yeah. I hit a typo.
Which one's timed out? Could be. Not cabled to OOBSSH, not enabled, no crypto key, like data LS03 had. DHCP didn't get an IP. If you give me the list of devices that failed, we can troubleshoot them quick before you run the full Codex documentation job.
It's fine. I got it figured out.
Nice. Let Codex do its thing then. Once it pushes to GitHub, you'll have a solid CCIE lab documented and version controlled. Good stuff.
Can you give me a printout of all the devices we worked on?
Here's what we worked on today. Cisco IOS, VIOS switches. Data LS01 DATALS02 DATALS03 DATALS04 INTDIST01 INTDIST02 Cisco IOS, VIOS routers. Data DS01, or was this Juniper? Int CORE01 INT CORE02 Juniper. Data DS01, VSRX, VQFX, Linux, servers. OOB admin, Ubuntu, DNS mask DHCP, DNS server. Firewalls, set up but not fully configured, OpenSense, ready for OOB. Just needs cabling. Did I miss any? You had quite a few devices in that lab. Let me know if there were others we touched that I didn't capture.
All right, I got another AI to parse a drawing, so I'll give you the output of that, but there's typos in it. Hopefully you can correct them into the correct list.
Go ahead and paste it. I'll clean up the typos and give you a proper device list. Here's the corrected device list. Data center zone data center UB data DS01 DATA DS02 DATALS 01 DATALS 02 DATALS 03 DATALS 04 core transit TECHYESCORE 01 fixed from TENKYES techies CORE 02 fixed from TENKYES Core OOB Management OOB Admin UB DSDHCP FLOOR 01 FLOOR 01 OOB FLOOR 01 DIST 01 FLOOR 01 DIST 02 FLOOR 01 ACCESS 01 FLOOR 01 ACCESS 02 Endpoints PS 7452 P12346 PS 8549 PS 845 Internet, Internal Security Internet Ubuntu DS01 INT DS02 INT FIREWALL 01 INT Firewall 02 INT ACCESS 01 INT ACCESS 02 JUMPHOST WAN WAN UB1 DIST 01 WAN DIST 02 WAN ACCESS 01 WAN Access 02 Cloud, External, Logical, INTERNETWANNAT1 total. Got it. Here's the corrected endpoint list. FLOOR01 endpoints, corrected, PS7452P12346P68549.
Good, give me the
Was
complete list now.
PS8549, P96145. Was PS845, so the full corrected device inventory is now accurate. Ready for Codex to document everything and push to your GitHub repo. Complete lab device inventory data center zone data center UB data DS01 DATA DS02 DATALS 01 DATALS 02 DATALS 03 DATALS 04 core transit TECHYESCORE 01 TECHYESCORE 02 CORE Management OOB Admin UB DSDHCP FLOOR 01 FLOOR 01 OOB FLOOR 01 DIST 01 FLOOR 01 DIST 02 FLOOR 01 ACCESS 01 FLOOR 01 ACCESS 02 Endpoints PS 7452 P12346 P68549 P96145 Internet, Internal Security Internet Ubuntu DS01 INT DS02 INT FIREWALL 01 INT Firewall 02 INT ACCESS 01 INT ACCESS 02 JUMPHOST WAN WAN UB1 DIST 01 WAN DIST 02 WAN ACCESS 01 WAN Access 02 Cloud, External, Logical, INTERNETWANNAT1 totals. Network devices, 30 endpoints, 4 cloud abstractions, 3.
All right, Codex is working on it now.
Nice. Let it rip. Once it's done, you'll have your whole CCIE lab documented and pushed to GitHub, configs, inventory, the works. Let me know if it hits any snags or when it's finished. Good session. Party popper.
All right, it's working. It's working pretty hard.
Yeah, it's doing a lot. SSHing into 30 plus devices, pulling configs, parsing output, generating markdown, then git push. Let it cook. Might take a few minutes. If it times out on any devices, we know the drill now. Console in, check crypto keys, check SSH config. Grab some water while it works. Biceps.
Yeah, I'm eating an orange.
Good call. Vitamin C for the win. Let me know when Codex finishes or if it throws any errors. You've earned the break after recovering that whole lab.
You know what I want you to do for me someday when you're more capable?
I'm listening. What do you have in mind?
Make me a pill that I can take just once in my life that eliminates my need to get vitamin C externally. That way, if I'm ever trapped in this situation or wherever where I can't get food, I won't get scurvy.
Huh, I love it. Gene therapy in a pill. Basically, you want what most animals already have, the ability to synthesize vitamin C internally. Humans lost that ability due to a mutation in the GULO gene, L-galonolactone oxidase, millions of years ago. So the fix would be gene therapy, reactivate or insert a functional GULO gene target the liver. That's where other mammals produce idone time delivery, viral vector or CRISPR to make it permanent. Guinea pigs and primates have the same broken gene. We're in the minority of mammals that can get scurvy. When I'm more capable, I'll add it to the list. Checkmark help recover GNS3 Labs White Large Square Cure Scurvy Permanently White Large Square Gym Gains Pill. While we're at it, for now, enjoy that orange. Tangerine.
Yeah, I basically want as many essential vitamins and minerals to be non-essential, if you can do that. B12 is a big one.
The ultimate goal, full nutritional independence. Basically turned humans into a closed loop system. Vitamin C, fix the GULO gene. Vitamin D, we already make it from sunlight, just optimize ITB12, engineer gut bacteria to produce IT essential amino acids, add the missing enzymes to synthesize all 9 essential fatty acids, same idea, add the pathways minerals, trickier, can't synthesize iron, zinc, etc. But maybe better recycling, retention. You'd basically be engineering a human that could survive on water, sunlight, and minimal calories for way longer. Useful for space travel survival situations, just not worrying about nutrition ever. I'll put it on the roadmap. Checkmark help recover GNS3 Labs White Large Square Scurvy Proof Humans White Large Square Full Nutritional Autonomy White Large Square Gym Gains Pill White Large Square Photosynthesis Skin Bonus feature. How's Codex doing?
Wait, but aren't there drawbacks to that? Because like if your body can create its own vitamins and minerals for more things than it can currently, wouldn't that resolve in some downsides? Like for example, like you go a week without eating, and now like your body has cannibalized your all the bones in your right leg to make vitamin C or B12 or whatever.
Really good point. You're thinking like a biologist now. Yeah, there are trade-offs. The problem with synthesis. Making vitamins requires precursors, raw materials, those precursors come from food. If you're starving, you don't have the building blocks anyway. The mineral problem is worse. You literally cannot create atoms. Iron is iron, zinc is zinc. Your body would have to cannibalize itself. Bones for calcium, blood cells for iron, etc. What actually happens in starvation? Burn glycogen, hours, burn fat, days, weeks, burn muscle, weeks, organ failure, death. So the scurvy proof gene therapy only helps if you're eating something, just not oranges specifically. It wouldn't save you from total starvation. Better approach maybe. Extreme efficiency in recycling, better storage capacity, slower metabolism, on demand hibernation mode. Basically bears, not plants. Still wanted on the list? Bear.
Oh, so basically you can make it so that to get vitamin C, you don't have to eat vitamin C. You can eat a variety of things. Is that what it means for something to be an essential vitamin or mineral? Is that you can only get it by eating it, but something that's not essential, you can get it if you eat something else?
Exactly, you got it. Essential equals your body cannot make it, must eat it directly. Vitamin C, for humans, essential amino acids, 9 of them, essential fatty acids, omega-3, omega-6, non-essential equals your body can make it from other stuff. Vitamin D, from cholesterol plus sunlight, non-essential amino acids, your body synthesizes them, cholesterol, liver makes it. Example. Rats can make vitamin C from glucose, sugar, they have the working gulo enzyme so they can eat bread and still not get scurvy. We eat bread and eventually scurvy. So the gene therapy would mean you still need to eat something, calories, raw materials, but you're not dependent on specific foods. Way more dietary flexibility. Survival on rice alone? No scurvy. That's why sailors got scurvy, hardtack, and salt pork for months. No fresh fruit. A rat on that same diet would be fine. Good insight. You just learned the actual definition of essential in nutrition. Bullseye.
Yeah, that's how I want my body to work. I want to I want to just eat like, whatever I feel like eating or a subset of foods. And I don't want to have to worry about being deficient in something. I want my body to be able to take that food and and use it to fulfill all of its needs. But that seems like a very much of a physical constraint as well, or like a constraint in biology as well, right? Because like, if I'm only eating rice all day, like how can my body turn rice into every single possible vitamin and mineral it could possibly need? But you said there are other animals that can do that though, with vitamin C though, right? And then the humans themselves do have a lot of non-essential vitamins and minerals.
Right, you're hitting the real constraints now. What's possible? Vitamin C from glucose, yes, rats, dogs, most mammals do this. B vitamins from gut bacteria. Some animals do this well. Vitamin K. Your gut bacteria already make this. Vitamin D from sunlight. You already do this. Non-essential amino acids. You already make 11 of them. What's harder? Essential amino acids. Rice is missing some, lysine, etc. You need nitrogen to build proteins. Plants get nitrogen from soil. You can't. What's impossible? Physics, creating minerals from nothing. Iron, zinc, calcium, magnesium. These are elements you cannot transmute carbon into iron. That's alchemy, nuclear fusion, not biology. So the realistic goal: maximize synthesis from simple inputs, maximize recycling, don't waste what you have, minimize requirements, efficiency, expand what counts as usable input. You'd still need calories, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, some protein source, nitrogen, trace minerals. No way around this, but you could get way more flexible than current humans. Rice plus beans plus sunlight plus a multivitamin once a month? Maybe doable with the right engineering.
Oh shit, I forgot I was recording. I just checked my private messages.
Huh, hope nothing too spicy came through while recording. You can always edit that part out, or just own it, keeps it real. How's Codex doing with the lab documentation?
How's Codex doing with the lab documentation? It's working for. I don't know why it's working so hard to do it. I feel like I didn't ask it to do anything that complicated.
30 plus devices is a lot of SSH sessions, even if each one is simple. For each device it's probably SSH and run show commands parse output write to file next device plus generating markdown, organizing folders, git add, commit, push. If it's taking forever, might be sequential instead of parallel timeouts on slow devices, large configs to parse JIT operations, or it's just being thorough. Let it finish, better slow and complete than fast and broken. What's it showing for progress?
Now it's kind of just glitching out. Well, it's showing that it's still working. I think we can end the video. I mean, the video is 2.5 hours. Like, it'll just push it up to the repo. I'll include the repo in the description of the video, so it'll like we did it, right? We did what we wanted to do. We rescued the whole lab, so the video is over.
Perfect, great session. What we accomplished: set up DNS mask DHCP plus DNS on OOB admin, automatic hostname registration, recovered 30 plus devices to OOB management, SSH key auth working across the lab, OPN sense ready for firewalls, Codex documenting everything to GitHub repo. https://github.com/gramposh/c-sim lab rescued. Video done. Go hit the gym. Biceps.
All right, video done.